Stop ruminating about the narcissist in your life. Does that sound like an impossibility? Well, my name is Ruth Ann. I'm a clinical psychologist and an expert in relationships and narcissism. And in this video, I'm going to give you 3 strategies to make that a reality. So look, I have seen this time and time again. Someone has really wronged us and we end up really dwelling on what's been done to us. And we can start to really go down quite a rabbit hole of trying to understand them, maybe reading lots of books about narcissism or listening to podcasts or social media posts about narcissism. And there are some advantages to that. There's some ways in which that's helpful. It can help us to make sense of the situation. It can help us to understand that it wasn't our fault. It can help us to understand what made us vulnerable to that. It can also give us a language to understand it and give us a community and connect us with other people who might have been through similar experiences. So there are some really good aspects of that. But there's also some drawbacks. You can end up becoming quite obsessed about it. You can end up getting really stuck and going over and over the same thing again and again and again. And that can leave you feeling incredibly resentful and incredibly angry. And that's an exhausting way to live. And it's not good for your nervous system. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health. And people can end up in a pretty bad way after this. People can end up with depression or anxiety disorders. I've certainly seen people with even post-traumatic stress disorder after very abusive relationships that they've been in. And those are serious conditions that really warrant specialist assessment and care. And I hope that you're able to get that. But the biggest irony I find in all of this is that narcissists are really good at taking up all the space. They dominate. They don't let anyone else have a say or be part of the party. You know, people will say in relationships with narcissists, they feel erased. And here you find yourself once again, your mind and your thinking and your thoughts and your emotions are dominated by this narcissistic person, and they're not focused on where they should be focused, on you. And so what I'm going to suggest to you might seem quite difficult because this is going to be a change of pattern. It's going to be a change of priorities, but I think it's a change of priorities in a good direction, because I'm going to suggest shifting your attention away from the narcissist, away from the ways that they've wronged you, and putting it on you where it belongs. Now that's going to seem really, really difficult. So the first strategy I'm going to suggest to you is what I call narcissist time. Now, I've actually borrowed this technique from cognitive behavior therapy for generalized anxiety disorder. It's a way of managing worry and rumination. And what it does is it's really about stopping it from dominating your day, dominating all your time. So I'm not going to tell you to stop thinking about the narcissist or this difficult situation or person in your life, but I'm going to suggest that you allocate a certain amount of time to it. Now, if there's no ongoing situation, I would suggest maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day as a good starting point. From there, you can reduce. Now, if there are ongoing situations that you're dealing with, maybe there's a legal situation going on or there's practical considerations, childcare arrangements, you may need to allocate longer. But the principle here is to give the time that you spend on this a start and an end, and a relatively short amount of time in between. And when you find yourself outside of that time thinking about this person or situation, you notice there's my thoughts going to that person or that situation. I'm just going to hit the pause button. And I'm going to think about that when it's time, when it's narcissist time. And hopefully what that does is it begins to shift your attention. And it begins to help you have a little bit more control, a little bit more say over when you think about what. And it allows you to refocus your attention on the things that are truly and genuinely important to you and where you want your attention to be the rest of the time. Now, often when I suggest this to people, they're like, that is not going to work for me. I think about this all the time. That is not going to work. Well, you know what? Try it. And try it more than once, because you might be pleasantly surprised to see how much ability you have to direct your attention and to direct your thoughts and to decide where you want them to go. Give it a go. let me know how it goes. If you try this, let me know in the comments. And the second strategy I'm going to suggest, and this is a really, really tough one. People find this hard, and I will make more videos about this, but it's focus on you. Really make a little bit of space to focus on yourself. Now, I would suggest that this is very difficult, and you may have a lot of painful and difficult emotions going on. So I would suggest starting with something a little bit easier. Focus on pleasure and enjoyment, and on very gently nurturing and taking care of yourself. Now, this is about a deliberate intention to do that. So think about making a bit of time and space in your day that's intentionally focused on you. Now, you don't need to change what you're doing. It might be that you just, when you eat your breakfast in the morning, you just take a little bit of time to enjoy it, to intentionally savor the taste of the food that you're having. It may be making time to read a book that really interests you, not one about narcissism. Read a novel or a book about another topic that interests you. It may be making time to listen to a podcast, watch your favorite TV program, get out for a walk, get some fresh air. Maybe look at some things that you find beautiful. Go and look at some art or look at some flowers. Something that just allows you to have a sense of pleasure and enjoyment and beauty in your day. And make a little bit of space for that every day. And the third strategy is connect with friends and family. I have said this before, and I'll say it again because it's so important. As human beings, we are social creatures. We are meant to connect with other people. We are not meant to be alone. So we need other people. And this is a time in which spending time with family and friends who, if your family and friends are genuinely caring and supportive towards you, that's going to be really, really helpful to you. Now, I'll take you back to my first point. There will be times when it's absolutely the right thing for you to share what's been going on with your friends and family and talk about your feelings about it. But there will also come a point where you may need to distract yourself from it. And you may need to refocus your attention on you and on the friends or family, not on the narcissist, on you and your friend, your family member, and your relationship. And that might be difficult because it's on your mind constantly. And so a little bit of healthy distraction can be helpful. So it might be you say to your friend or family member, you know what, let's spend an evening or let's spend an afternoon or let's go and do something. And we're not going to talk about the narcissist. We're not going to talk about this difficult situation. And it's not saying it's not important or that you never talk about it. And it's right that you do sometimes. But you are saying it is not the only thing in my life. I'm not letting them take up all that space. I'm taking some of it back for me and for us. And so go and enjoy the things that you enjoy. Go to the cinema, see a movie, go for a nice walk in the park, go out for dinner. Whatever it is that interests you and brings you pleasure, make time and space for that. Make time and space for that, to enjoy that with other people. And I'm sure over time, gently, you will begin to reap a little bit of a harvest from taking those little steps along the way. The most important thing is that you start to take up more space in your mind, in your emotions, and in your life. And you take that space back from the narcissist because they do not deserve to have it. You do. I hope this is helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please leave a comment. Maybe what you have to say will help someone else. And if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and share it. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And in the meantime, take care.